It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got the two teams who met in Super Bowl 22. It's the Denver Broncos and the Washington Commanders, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the outskirts of the nation's capital. It's Northwest Stadium in Landover, the home of the Commanders. We are bundled up. This should be a fun one. So glad you're with us. Mike Tirico, Greg Olson. Greg, we love watching and calling snow games, but you played in weather like this. What's it like?
Oh, man, there is nothing better. Kind of brings you back to your roots of having a snow day, a day off of school, and just get all your buddies in the neighborhood and just go play outside. But in all seriousness, it actually really benefits the offense. I mean, people always are questioning the passing game and whatnot. The offense knows where they're going. It's on the defense to react, and that's where the footing and that's where the snow really has its biggest effect. I think today, for both teams, advantage offense.
Here's the veteran Will Lutz to get us going. And through the snowflakes, off we go here on EA Sports. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. The Washington offense going to make their way to the field for the first time. They are led by the former Heisman Trophy winner out of LSU, Jayden Daniels.
And even though he's just a rookie, Mike, I think it's safe to say Jayden Daniels, he is one of the most dynamic athletes that we have in the entire NFL at the quarterback position. And on top of that, he's not a one-dimensional player. Yes, he's going to make splash plays with his feet, and he's going to make some highlight reel plays. But he is a quarterback. He can make every throw. He's got great arm talent. If he can continue to find the balance between those two aspects, he's got a chance not to have just success today, but he has a chance to have success for a long time in this league. The key to good route running, Mike, is deceiving the man covering you into thinking you're doing one thing, and then you change it and do the other. And in this case, he had the defender thinking this was a vertical downfield route, and then next thing you know, he gets to his break point, he breaks in, and that ball's put right on the money for a big pickup.
A pass complete to Noah Brown. And they'll get him down after a gain of 5, but that is enough for a first down.
Just take what the defense is giving you. When you can stay ahead of the chains and just take these easy pitch and catch throws underneath, hitch routes, quick game, now it puts you in a lot more favorable down and distances to eventually attack this defense a little bit more downfield.
They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
For that play to work, Mike, you have to distort the defensive line at the point of attack. And what that means is the offensive lineman, you need one of them to win their block. Move the defender out of his gap. Because when you do, you can see there is a nice run lane for the back to hit.
1st and 10 now from the 36. First carry for the versatile Austin Eckler. And he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards. Here's a 2nd and 6. Man in motion is Brown. And nothing doing on that one. He'll go down behind the line.
I'm not sure if there's anything more enjoyable for a football player than playing a game in the snow. And something for us to keep in mind throughout the rest of the day is typically the advantage is in the favor of the offense. You know where you're going. You know where the cuts are going to come. The defense has to react to you. Can they find a way to take advantage?
Oh, that's That's the one thing they couldn't have there, the sack that might take them out of field goal range.
At some point, you would just like to see that internal clock start to speed up. The longer the play goes on, the more vulnerable you become as the quarterback. Get rid of the ball, but no matter what, you have to avoid the sack.
On fourth down, the Commanders going to send out their veteran Tress Way to punt. The Broncos have Marvin Mims out for the return. And this one's going to land out of bounds as they'll mark it inside the 20. Here comes the Denver offense set to take over for the first time. They'll be led by the man from Oregon who started his career at Auburn, quarterback Bo Nix.
Well, it didn't take long for Bo Nix to establish himself as a bona fide starter in this league, winning the position with the Broncos as a rookie. He has all the intangibles, but really what sticks out the most, Mike, is the amount of starts he made in college. It's kind of similar to Brock Purdy. Very experienced at the college level. Let's see how that carries over here to the NFL level.
Nix gonna keep it on the zone read. And some space opens as he's brought down following a gain of 6.
Good decision by the quarterback. In this situation, all you're looking to do is have a positive play. He decides to pull it, and that's exactly what he's able to do.
They'll come up now for second down and 4. Working out of the gun, it's Nix. He connects with Mims. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9.
I think they're going to have to be more creative here on the back end with the types of coverages they show this quarterback. Change the look pre-snap to post-snap. Mix in zone, mix in man. They got to make it more challenging on the quarterback going forward.
They'll run it for the first time with Javonte Williams. And that one going to be closed down in the backfield. Great defensive play. Knifing it and dropping him for a loss.
Anytime you run a draw, you're hoping the linebacker reads pass and starts dropping into his pass coverage. That's what creates space for your running back to get going. Well, not this time. The linebacker saw it from the jump. He's able to penetrate in the backfield and take the runner down for a loss.
And a good effort there defensively. It's knocked away and incomplete. Cortland Sutton, the intended receiver, and it's going to be third down.
I think he just rushed that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot. And that's a great job defensively here on third down. Not only taking away all the options down the field through the air, but when the quarterback decides to turn it to a runner himself, they're able to converge and make the play and keep him short of the first down.
On fourth down, the Broncos send out Riley Dixon to punt. Olamide Zaccheaus deep to return. The Commanders' offense ready to get going with their second possession. They'll search for the first points of this game as they begin the drive on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, it's Daniels. Quick throw here is complete. And he'll get about 8 on that one, most of it coming after the catch. It's second down.
The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback. But the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure rally tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
Now Robinson. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
And a nice pickup there by the back with an explosive run play. And it's important to point out, Mike, this offensive play caller, he's still working off that opening script. It doesn't necessarily have to just be the first possession. Using formations, using run game and pass. Unmask the defense and understand where to take the play calling as the game unfolds.
Well, they weren't going to get him the second time with the same back. Defense all over that one. They stop him for no gain.
You want to see linebackers play downhill, Mike, meaning there's not a lot of side-to-side pursuit. They're attacking the line of scrimmage, attacking the ball carrier. That's exactly what we saw out of this guy here. He's able to make the stop at the line of scrimmage and keep it to no gain.
On second down, it's Daniel. The pass rush gets home, and he goes down.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sit and duck for this pass rush.
Third and long. From the shotgun, it's Daniel. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Here's the quarterback doing everything in his power to extend this play, and none of his guys could get open. You got to see someone separate, work with your quarterback, go into scramble second reaction mode, and let's also give some credit to the back end doing a nice job plastering with their assignment, and he had no choice but to throw it away.
The Broncos offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. They were forced to punt first time they had it, but they'll try again in this scoreless game. It's 1st and 10. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by Williams. And he'll only be able to muster a couple of yards. Frankie Louvu there to make the play defensively. So we've come to the end of a fairly evenly played opening quarter. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. More after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second down and 8. To throw is Nix. Here's a screen set up to Williams. Great timing to call the screen. It's a gain of 17 and a 1st down.
The job of the offensive lineman is the key piece to a successful screenplay. They have to balance this fine line between stopping the defensive lineman from getting to the quarterback too quick, but also let that defensive lineman think he's got a free rush at the quarterback. That's the balance and the timing that made this play so successful, and they're able to pick up the 1st down.
They run over center with Williams. He plunges forward for a couple of yards. That's the veteran safety, Marshawn Lattimore, bringing him down. Now, a 2nd down throw for Nix. He'll find his tight end. That's Troutman.
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on him early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case, they don't get the real big play they were hoping for, but they'll definitely take it.
He'll try to run for it with Williams. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
Coming off that edge, Mike, you have to quickly determine, is this a pass or is it a run? And once he realized it was a run, he's able to shed his blocker, make the play, no gain.
It's Riley Dixon coming on now, as he's on to punt for the second straight drive. The Commanders' offense getting set to get back to work. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Daniels. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
Daniels to throw on 2nd down. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down. He's able to look it in and get forward for a pickup of about 8.
The drag route. We used to say this is day one install. Every single offense in the NFL has this sort of route, especially for the tight end position. And depending on the speed and the run after catch ability of the tight end, sometimes it can lead to some of the biggest gains.
They'll try and run for the 1st with Eckler. And he'll work his way forward to about the 30-yard line. Set to go now on 1st and 10. To throw is Daniels. That's a short one caught by Sinnott. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
We'll give a little credit here defensively. Even though they allow the 1st down, we've seen defenses really struggle bringing this big tight end to the ground. And they didn't allow him to pick up a bunch of yards after contact, but he was able to get just enough to pick up the 1st down.
On 1st down, it's Robinson. And he'll get about 6 there, setting up 2nd down. He's got his tight end. There's Ertz. And he can't get away. They rally to the football on defense and bring him down for no gain.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started.
That's his 1st reception of the ballgame, and it really comes at a good time as they get the conversion on 3rd down.
And if he's late with that throw, Mike, there's a really good chance a defender could have made a play on it. But he does a beautiful job. He puts the ball out in front of his shoulder, leads the receiver, and allows him to get upfield and pick up the 1st down.
From the 35, it's 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, and they'll give it to Robinson. And he'll manage to get this ahead for a pickup of 5. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. Play action. Here's Daniels. Looking middle, and he's got Brown. And he'll be taken down as we tick down to the 2-minute warning. A gain there of 16 yards. 1st down, Washington. Here's Daniels. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down.
So as halftime looms, Mike, they have to find a way to capitalize on this drive right here and make sure they end the half with some sort of points. Now, that incompletion, not ideal, but at the very least, it stops the clock. Catch your breath, get back in the huddle, and this next play, it's got to be a gotta-have-it best play call. I think this play is a direct result of his film study. He knew exactly where that ball was going before the play was snapped, and that play recognition, man, it separates a lot of guys in this league and results in a negative play.
Third and long, and here's Daniels. Nowhere to get away, and he's going to go down. So it's fourth down, and Austin Seibert out to try the Washington field goal. This will be a 48-yard attempt. Seibert's kick is good. And the Commanders get 3 here late in the first half to take the lead.
I think apart from the wind, when you talk about kicking in the elements, Mike, I think the snow has to be the kicker's worst nightmare. It's just so hard to have the confidence that when you stick that plant foot, it's not going to give way. So give credit. That was really well done.
So after the field goal to open up the scoring, the kicker's back out for this kickoff. On the return, here comes Marvin Mims. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Broncos offense ready to see what they can do. The offense is a little slow to start percolating. 3-0 the score as they begin this drive with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's Nix. There's a throw right side. It's going to be incomplete.
They've been a little up and down in this first half. I mean, they have less than 80 yards of total offense and halftime looms. So missed throws like that, those are missed opportunities. They've got to hit the plays when they have them if they want to have a chance to leave here with a win.
Second down, Nix. This one to the tight end, Troutman. And that'll go for a gain of 7. And it's going to set up 3rd down. Nix from the gun on 3rd down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Here's their punter now as he's on to punt for Denver. And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. The Commanders offense can see what they can do in the final minute of this first half. They'll look to build on their 3-0 lead as this drive starts with a 1st and 10. Daniels now going to look to throw. He finds the veteran Ertz. And he's going to be marked down up around the 33.
This is such a critical moment in the game, that middle 4 minutes, the final 2 minutes of the first half, and then the possession to come out of the halftime break. So maximizing this possession here before halftime is critical. See if you can get a drive starter. See if you can get an easy completion to kickstart a 2-minute mode, and that's what they got here. Now they got to see if they can go down and steal some points.
So it'll be 1st and 10. They'll scrimmage at the 33. They'll throw with Daniels. That's complete. John Bates, the tight end. First time they've looked his way tonight. Good time to do it. It's a first down.
And these are the throws that when they evaluate young quarterbacks coming out of college, they want to see you be able to make. Everyone worries about how far you can throw the ball. And while that's certainly important, to be able to make the throws from sideline to sideline, especially in those intermediate zones, drive the ball through space. Because in this league, an open window is going to close in a hurry.
19 more on that one. And another first down. And with just 4 seconds left in the first half, a timeout is called. Here's Austin Seibert now to try the field goal. This one from 49. Through the falling snow, the kick is good. And the Commanders going to tack on 3 more, extending the lead here late in the first half. Just 1 second remaining in this first half, and they will kick it away. On the return, here's Mims. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this first half of play. So just a couple of field goals through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our score at the break. As we'll head down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Michael, thanks very much. And with that, we welcome you all into our EA Sports studios. This is the halftime report. These 2 teams making their way back out of their locker room, so that means we're just about set for the second half. And to bring it your way, we go back out to Mike and Greg.
All right, Coach, thank you. The snow continuing to fall as we ready ourselves for the second half to follow. Well, this snow not abating at all. If anything, might be coming down a little bit harder as we are underway here in the third. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Broncos offense looking to get back to work as we begin this third quarter. They're still in search for their first points in this one, but only trailing 6-0. And this drive will begin with a first down. Off the play fake, here's Nix. He's got his receiver. It's Cortland Sutton. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
This is clinic tape for any young wide receiver out there watching this guy run routes. He has the defender thinking everything is a go ball. Attack him vertically, and then when you get to your route depth, you stick that foot in the ground, you break in, balls on time, results in a nice first down pickup.
They'll come up here, 1st and 10. They'll send a tight end in motion. Now it's Williams. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
And what a start to this drive. A little bit of everything. First, you get the explosive pass to start it out, and then you follow it up on the ground, picking up good yardage. The ability to weave back and forth as a play caller, it just puts so much pressure on the defense.
Nix, now to throw it here on 1st down. And they're going to track him down. He couldn't find a receiver, and down he goes.
And now we're seeing the game kind of go back and forth. Each team trading blows, trying to establish control over the other. Nice chunk play on the previous play. The defense responds back with a sack, and we're going to see which team can establish a little bit more of this control as the game unfolds.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Throwing, Nix. And the rookie gives himself up there at the end. That's a sign of a guy who's learned it quick, picking up the 1st down.
They got to do a better job of keeping the quarterback contained in the pocket all week, Mike, against mobile quarterbacks. You talk about rushing as a group. This time they get a little undisciplined with their rush lane integrity, and he makes them pay.
A 1st down throw for Nix. He'll run again. And Nix with the wise move there at the end, sliding to a stop, but he's got the 1st down. 12 yards there, and a 1st down.
We've seen this quarterback have some effective plays with his legs all game today, Mike. He knows when to stay in there and look to pass, but he also knows when it's time to tuck it and go, and he's able to pick up good yardage there.
That'll be caught by the running back, Williams. And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
What an advantage it brings a defense when you have cornerbacks that are such willing tacklers. It just brings an extra element to the ability to defend the entire field, and this is a great example here why.
Here's the give up the middle with Williams. And he gets this one down inside the 10, but it will set up 3rd and goal. Working out of the gun, it's Nix. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
He's got to find a way to hold on to that one. I mean, you're right on the doorstep of the end zone. And listen, I understand that hit is coming. But guess what? That hit's coming whether you catch it or not. And you get paid to make the difficult catches. And I would classify that one as tough, but you got to make that catch. Give your team a chance to come away with this drive with some points. It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
So following the field goal, Lutz is back out to kick it away. From the 6, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Commanders' offense ready for their first possession of this second half. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, it's Daniels. Taking off.
Well, let's give credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was nowhere to go with the ball for that quarterback. He had no choice but to just tuck it down himself, and he's able only to pick up a short gain.
They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. Here's a designed run. They tackle him at the 38, but that run is good enough to pick up the 1st down.
Sometimes, Mike, the best plan is also the simplest plan. And for this team, just snap the ball to your quarterback, let him find some daylight, and go get that 1st down himself.
So, 1st and 10 here now at the 38. Off the play fake, here's Daniels. They'll pick up 23 on that one. Good for a Commanders 1st down.
There was a lot of questions surrounding this quarterback about whether his style of play from college would transfer to the NFL game. Well, his ability to create with his legs certainly has here today. We see it with his ability to escape pressure out of the pocket, and he's able to pick up the 1st down.
Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. They'll go play action here with Daniels. That's over the middle, complete to Brown. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
Points have certainly been hard to come by in this one today, Mike, but it seems like this drive has been what they've been searching for. A little bit of rhythm, the ability to sustain. Now they got to finish. Now they got to capitalize on these 1st downs and go finish with 6.
And they'll run out of the gun. Here comes Robinson. Nice job finding the seam. Gain of about 9. Just a yard short of that 1st down. Second and a yard. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. That's to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Terry McLaurin, the intended target on that one, and it'll be 3rd down.
They went for it all on that one and just a little bit off. Ball winds up hitting the ground. They've got to move forward. The opportunities are out there. Better execution, better location, and they got some big plays in their future.
They send him right out of the slot. They fake the jet sweep and will hand it up the middle. And he will have the Commanders' 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert on 3rd and 1.
Really just the same approach that an offense would take on a quarterback sneak, Mike. You don't necessarily have to spring them for a huge gain. Can you buy just enough space up front to pick up 1 yard? That's exactly what they did. Pick up the 1st down.
He'll be wrapped up there down at the 3-yard line. Here now, 2nd down and goal. Now this looks like a design run, and he won't quite get in. Down to the 1, setting up 3rd and goal. So we'll take it to the other end as we are through 3. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Looking for that final yard. It's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Robinson. And he's into the end zone. That might be the knockout punch. Brian Robinson. Touchdown, Commanders. Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the 4th quarter. Get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, and I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the 4th quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to claw yourself back in it.
Austin Seibert now for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Commanders move out in front, 13-3. Seibert now following the touchdown. He's out to kick it away. Here's Tremon Smith on the return. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Broncos offense ready to take over once more. The deficit is at 10, so an important drive forthcoming. Getting started with 1st and 10. They'll start this on the ground. It's Williams. The hole closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3. Second and 7. Here's Nix to throw. He'll find his tight end. That's Troutman.
Defense does a nice job here initially using zone coverage to take away the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. Quarterback gets off his first read, sees some openings to the sideline, and him and his receiver are able to connect.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he's going to be taken down here. Looks like a pretty good spot, though. Yes, he's got it. That's a 1st down. Now Nick's going to look to throw. Quick throw, out wide. It's caught. And he's down inside the 40-yard line.
Things certainly look a little improbable right now, Mike, but I wouldn't say impossible. I think they've got to capitalize on this possession to pick up some points. Every single possession right now is priceless. Points, possessions, and then they got to get some defensive stops.
Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. They'll throw. It's Nix. Short pass taken in by the tight end. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand, because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is.
And they're going to get this all the way down inside the 5.
And this is what the offense needed. Now, after that last completion, you still trail here in the 4th quarter. You need scores, and you need scores fast, so they cannot take their time. I wouldn't be surprised to get them right back up on the line of scrimmage and try to score here now that it's 1st and goal.
Back to throw is Nix. That is caught by the tight end, Adam Troutman. Touchdown, Broncos. Greg, they are pecking away at this one now. Very big touchdown. Gets them right within reach of pulling this comeback off.
Well, Mike, at the very least, they've given themselves a chance, but can they get a stop and get the ball back again for a chance to go down and really make this one interesting?
Will Lutz now for the PAT. The kick is good. Important extra point. The difference is just 3, a field goal here in the fourth quarter. So they've cut into the lead. Now just a field goal behind as they kick it off. This taken in at the 8-yard line. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Washington offense now. They get set to take over. They'll start out first down and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Daniels. He tosses over the middle. This one is caught. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards.
I'm not sure what was the more difficult aspect of the play. Winning his route versus man coverage or catching this pass, because that quarterback, he put a little extra sauce on that one to get it there on time, and he's able to secure a really nice catch.
On second down, it's Daniels. This one brought in by Brown. And they'll pick up the first down, a gain of about 4.
This is one of those throws where you're hoping you do most of the damage after the catch, but give credit to the defense. Once that ball was caught, they were on him quickly, and there was nowhere for him to go after the catch.
Off the zone read, Daniels gonna hang on to it. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4.
Nice job by the defense. They had that one well read from the beginning, Mike. Someone's responsible for the running back, but the key here was the defender responsible for the quarterback. Stays with him, keeps him to a short gain.
Here's 2nd and 6. Throwing is Daniels. Right side, catch made by McLaurin. They'll empty out the backfield and line up for 3rd and 3. So, 2 minutes to play here in the second half. Greg and I back on EA Sports. After this, they'll come up to 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for it with Robinson. And he's going to be close to that first down. Looks like he made it past the yellow line. Yes, he did. It is indeed a first down. They'll go again with Robinson. And he lowers the shoulder. A gain of about 3. Whistles here. We have another stoppage. Timeout called by the defense with 1:53 remaining. They face 2nd down and 7. The tight end Ertz in motion. Another run here for Robinson. And he'll get them 5 yards closer, but now 3rd down coming up. The Broncos going to signal for their third and final timeout. Talk things over before third down. They'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Great pass rushers live for third down, especially when they know the offense has to be one-dimensional. And this is a great example here, Mike. They can just pin their ears back and go. They know there is no threat for run. It is a must-pass situation. And for this offense, they're lucky it didn't result in a sack.
And this is going to work out for them. Out of bounds, and they'll mark it inside the 10. Back onto the field comes the Denver offense. We'll see how they want to attack things here, backed up deep in their own end. It's 1st and 10. Play action now. It's Nix. That ball flutters to the ground. It's incomplete. Unfortunate there wasn't a defender right there in the area. Could have been a turnover. Instead, it brings up 2nd down.
A great pass rush is like a closer in baseball. When you bring them into the game, it's all but over. That's exactly the case here. It doesn't result necessarily in a sack, but it was the hit that altered the throw just enough to end that play before it started. Quarterback does a nice job here sensing the pressure pretty quickly, realizes he doesn't have a ton of time to operate from within the pocket, decides to tuck the ball and rely on his legs. He's able to pick up a positive play.
Work to do, the crowd helping the defense. 3rd down and 9. That is incomplete. Here we go. They're down to what could be their final play. It's 4th down.
They desperately needed that one, Mike. Down here late, they've only got a few remaining snaps to go, and it puts all of the pressure of the game now on 4th down. Let's see what play call they have in a gotta-have-it situation. And right now, this quarterback needs to make his best throw in the biggest moment of the game.
And he is going to have the Broncos 1st down. Well-designed play to pick up 16 and move the chains. From the shotgun, here's Nix. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
Great job there defensively, separating the man from the ball. And this is the moments of the game where you need your best players to step up. And this guy's showing what he's capable of doing in the game's critical moment.
And he'll just bite the bullet and throw this one away. That was a good idea. He didn't force anything there. But now it's going to bring up 3rd down.
This is a pass that just needs to be completed, Mike. The opportunity was there. His guy was open. They ran out of room a little bit there on the sideline. Couldn't quite get the ball up and down fast enough and ends up being thrown out of bounds.
Nix from the gun on 3rd down. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
So defensively, there's always the initial pass coverage plan, and then when that breaks down and the quarterback goes into scramble mode, how fast can you then move on to the 2nd phase and what they call plaster, meaning find the nearest receiver and almost play him man-to-man, and it's exactly what they did here, and there was nowhere for the ball to go, and he's forced to just throw it.
I had to take a chance on 4th down, and it's intercepted. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
I think you chalk this one up, Mike, to just a rookie mistake. And some of these ups and downs. Every once in a while, they're just not going to see the coverage. They're going to get baited into making a bad throw. That's kind of par for the course. The key is how fast can these rookie quarterbacks turn the page, move on, and not make the same mistake again.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. Victory formation here as he's down to a knee. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olsen and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Commanders are winners as we say so long from just outside our nation's capital.